Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. Today is our NFL legend, Thomas Hollywood Henderson. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. I'm Vincent Turner, 100 Yards of Football. When you talk about videos that I've done on this platform, there have been some very special videos. And this young man right here, Thomas Hollywood Henderson, even though his career didn't end up as the way it should, and it ended up really sadly. But I tell you what, when you look at what he done in his years in the league and playing for America's team, that was probably no more explosive, athletic football player that came into the National Football League in the mid-'70s than Thomas Hollywood Henderson out of Langston University. Kudos to all the players that's been in the NFL from Langston: Matthew Hatchett, Maurice Bassett, Gene Howard, and Ken Payne, and Thomas Hollywood Henderson. What more can you say about this young man? Played with the Dallas Cowboys in the mid-'70s. Came in as a rookie, 18th overall pick in the 1975 draft. And a team he was on with Robin Newhouse, Drew Pearson, Golden Richards, Rayfield Wright, Harvey Martin, Too Tall Jones, Leroy Jordan, Cliff Harris, Charlie Waters, Mark Washington, Mel Renfro. That's when Cowboy royalty was at a high level. And me being 15 years old in the 10th grade at Southside High School in Memphis, Tennessee, I was a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. See, when we talk about the athletic outside linebacker position, a lot of people are getting to the discussion. There's no question about it. Lawrence Taylor was the best that ever done it. Wilbert Marshall was the best that ever done it. At a certain level, Andre Tippett and Greg Lloyd. All those guys are in the same mold. Athletic outside linebackers. They had tremendous vertical leaping ability and had that speed. Well, you know what? This young man out of Austin, Texas, by way of Oklahoma City, he set the tone. And when I think about Thomas Henderson, my first thought is this. 1975, a linebacker playing on special teams, taking a reverse against the St. Louis Cardinals and going 97 yards for a touchdown. Having that Olympic speed and outrunning the whole pursuit down the field. Then I go to Super Bowl 10. The same thing. Taking that kickoff back 52 yards in the opening game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Super Bowl 10. Then his interception in the playoff game in 1978 against the LA Rams. He took back for a touchdown. 68 yards. Then in 1977, his 75-yard interception return to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If this young man wouldn't yield to drugs, it's no talented. In no way of how his career would have went. I can tell you this. It's no question he would have been maybe 7-8-time Pro Bowl player. Stats would have been off the charts. And he probably would have been a Hall of Famer. And he was one of the favorite players of Thomas Landry, the head coach. But unfortunately, the outside life, the city life, and the drugs got to him. But make no bones, before Lawrence Taylor, before Wilbur Marshall, before Andre Tippett, before Greg Lloyd, before Derek Thomas, Cornelius Bennett, this young man set the tone for them. He was one of the most athletic linebackers that ever played in the National Football League in a short time. The one thing about Hollywood Henderson was, I'm going to go back to his days at Langston University. And listen to me real carefully on this. He was a walk-on. And he played defensive end. He started out 6th on the depth chart. But when he left Langston University, he was a 2-time All-American. Started 45 straight games in college. But this is what really stuck out to me before he even got into the National Football League. You want to hear something? He was a track athlete, freakazoid. Robots report to the football field. He ran a 9.5 100-yard dash. And he triple jumped 49 feet at 6'2", 225 pounds. Even though his career was short, 1977 was his best season. The year the Cowboys won the Super Bowl and defeated Denver in New Orleans. 53 tackles that year. 79-yard interception return, as I just mentioned, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3 interceptions, 1 sack. And he was the only linebacker that started not on defense, but also on special teams. The skill set he had was just pure athletic, A+. Instincts, playmaker, A+. He was like a safety playing outside linebacker. Explosiveness, A+. Lateral movement, A+. Quickness, A+. Aggressiveness, A+. Range, play in pursuit, can run you down. Blitz, pass rush ability, A+. Ball reaction, A+. And boy, could he tackle. Hard hitter, A+. It's just unfortunate that at the time he was having all this great success, he yielded to drugs. Ended up spending 28 months in jail. Ended up, Cowboys cut him. 49ers cut him. The Oilers cut him. He was out of football. But the one thing I love about Hollywood Henderson, watching some of his videos on YouTube, is that he said, I don't blame nobody. It was all my fault. But he said that 28 months in jail changed his life. Because he said if it didn't, he was going to go and meet his maker. And another thing I like about Hollywood Henderson is that even when he goes, speaks to all these organizations across the country, telling his story, his opening line, hey, I'm Hollywood Henderson. I'm a drug addict. Even now in his 60s. And see, I'm going to tell you how God can change your life. In 2000, that man won $28 million in a lottery in the state of Texas. And you know what he's done with it? He's donated half of the money to a lot of charities and outreach programs of people who suffer from drug problems and other problems as homeless. He started in his hometown of Austin, Texas, the East Side Youth and his street outreach. And he's touched a lot of people's hearts in the state of Texas and the state of Florida. But we don't hear nothing about that. And then he won the lottery again in 2010 of $50,000. And he's taken and changed over, what I understand, 10,000 people's lives. And he's going right into the heat of the action, talking to all these youth services, these outreach programs that need help. And here's a guy that played the game at a high level and had everything taken away from him. And he won the lottery in 2000. And he was out of professional football for 28 years. But before he won that lottery and got that money, he was still at a high level helping people. Make no bones. We always going to remember Hollywood Henderson as a guy that had enormous talent. A lot of people say he blew it. It's a sad story, but it ended up with the grace of God. It's a reason that man won the lottery twice. It's a reason that man has an outstanding book out and a man who's touching a lot of lives. So my final words about Thomas Hollywood Henderson, it goes back to a group by the name of Jethro Tull. They had a song out, Bongo in the Jungle. Walking through the forest, a palm tree apartment. Scoffing at the monkeys who live in their dogs' tents. See, Thomas Hollywood Henderson, he was bungling in the jungle. And it got away from him. But what he did, he turned around. And he looked at the monkeys and he looked at himself in the dog tents. He turned them dog tents around and he's touching a lot of people's lives. Hollywood, Thomas Henderson. You still will be one of my favorite football players of all times. And make no bones, he set the tone for Lawrence Taylor, Wilbur Marshall, Andre Tippett, and Greg Lloyd. And Lawrence Taylor will tell you today, the reason he chose number 56 is because of Thomas Hollywood Henderson. So if you like the video today, please comment and share it. Cowboy Nation in the house. Thank you and God bless. Here, one of y'all, so to my producer, Mr. Jeremiah Long. Thank you.